2:30 on October 25th, 2020. Welcome to another gloomy day of the weather update, but we do have a new tropical system. Say hello to Tropical Storm Zeta. That's in addition to Epsilon. So we're going to get started with that because that's the interesting stuff. Hurricane Epsilon is still a hurricane. Look at how far north it is. It is, I mean, to see a hurricane this far north is just incredible. It really is incredible. So Tropical Storm Hurricane Epsilon, not a tropical storm, it's still a hurricane. The latest advisory, Epsilon is racing east-northeastward and is expected to become a powerful post-tropical cyclone soon. High surf and rip currents are possible along Atlantic reaches through Monday. So as of 11 a.m., its location is 44.3 north, 49.4 west, about 245 miles southeast of Cape Race, Newfoundland. Maximum sustained wind 75 miles an hour, moving east-northeast at 35 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 960 millibars or 28.35 inches. And hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles to the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 380 miles from the center. So, yeah, this thing is still a hurricane. It's unusual to see a hurricane this far north. This is very, very far north for a hurricane. Very unusual to see. And we're going to look at Epsilon right now on the satellite here. Actually, I want to start with this one. So this is the Canadian satellite here, and you'll see here's Epsilon. So far north, we have to use the Canadian one. You can still see convection going on there in the center there. It still looks like there's a good amount of convection that far north, which is very unusual, especially in October, to see that. The other thing I'm kind of curious about, excuse me, is lightning. Sometimes there's any lightning occurring with this storm this far north, and there is actually some. Yeah, there's a lightning strike right here, so there's still some lightning occurring. Look at how far north we are. That is crazy. So yeah, I wanted to take a look at that. Okay, so let's go to this satellite image here. I might need an air purifier in this apartment because I'm always sneezing in here, but once I go out, I don't sneeze at all. Yeah, you can see there it is. This is the view of Hurricane Epsilon right there. You can still see some convection going on, though. It is in the process of becoming post-tropical, but it's not there yet. That's for sure. And I wonder if we can get a visible loop here, too. So, there you go. You can see, yeah, you can still see convection going on. Right there. You can see that blow-up going on. So, yeah, this is very unusual to see this far north. Very unusual. And it's just another sign of our changing planet. So, quite unusual to see. Okay, that's Epsilon. Now, we focus on Zeta. Yes, that's right. We have Tropical Storm Zeta that has formed. Let's take a look at the latest advisory on Tropical Storm Zeta. Zeta is expected to bring heavy rains and strong winds to portions of the Yucatan tomorrow. Boy, I feel so bad for those people in the Yucatan. They've been getting hit constantly. Horrible. As of 2 p.m., location 18.0 north, 84.0 west, about 275 miles south-southeast of the western tip of Cuba, about 225 miles southeast of Cozumel, Mexico. Maximum sustained winds are 40 miles an hour. And it's not moving. It's nearly stationary. Minimum central pressure, 1,005 millibars, and that is 29.68 inches. This is, going to have to be watched, obviously. Let's take a look at the warning cone for this one, because this could become a hurricane. And now they say that it's going to become a hurricane. You know the way it is in the Gulf. Hurricanes love the Gulf, so it's moving slower. It's progging a little slower now with its movement, you will see here that there are tropical storm warnings now in effect for the Yucatan as well as the western part of Cuba, and this thing is going to go into the Gulf. And look at that, New Orleans possibly in the crosshairs again. It's always threatening the same area, it seems. And would be surprised if that tracks further west and winds up hitting the same damn areas that the other two storms hit, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Um, was it Alpha and was it Beta? Beta and what's the other one? And Laura. So yeah, this is quite unusual to see. So let's take a look at the latest information on that. Oh, and this, by the way, is the plot for Epsilon, by the way. I'm not going to go looking at it, but you can see here, again, that it has it near ice, possibly the remnants near Iceland or Greenland, or whatever it becomes. Let's go to Zeta here. So let's take a look at the latest on Zeta. This is the satellite of Zeta. Load this up here. Still lots of blow-ups going on. Lots of blow-ups going on. And this thing's barely moving, too. It's just sitting there. So, yeah, it's just sitting in the same spot. It's kind of trapped, that's why. Oh, it did the same thing again. Why does it keep doing that? I want it to stay on Zeta. Okay. So here is the models for Zeta, and you'll see it's more of a cluster now going on again around just east of New Orleans, possibly into Mississippi. A couple of others take it further west, but you can see that they do have a consensus on. But this could always change. You got to keep in mind this could always change. But this just shows that the models there's not that much variability with the models right now. When we look at the strength, you will see here that a lot of them keep it as a tropical storm, but a couple of them do take it up to a Category 1 hurricane. So that's also going to have to be watched as well. So let's go to the models on here, and we'll start with the upper air pattern across. We'll go to the North American view, and we're going to start with the upper air pattern, and I'm also going to look at the jet stream. So we will get to our weather, all right? We will get to our weather, right? Because we do have some rain off to the south too that we have to talk about. So let me get to that. Really get that out of the way. So you can see there is some rain off to the south here of Long Island. Luckily, it is not raining over us, but of course, it is cloudy again. But there are some other showers that might make their way into our area. Nothing heavy on this. Maybe the heavier stuff's off to the south. But yeah, I know, another gloomy day. So this is the pattern right now. You can see this weird trough in the west here, very weirdly shaped trough where they're getting snow and cold air, of course. And you can kind of see the way the jet stream is by looking at this almost. And I can draw it out for you too, so that's what we're going to do. Let's draw it in purple. So you can sort of see here. There's your jet stream right there. Very unusual setup to see the jet stream like this, kinked up like this with these narrow troughs. This is what I've been talking about, this waviness that we keep seeing here due to climate change. So it's in the jet stream. This is Epsilon, so it's getting flung out to sea. But you'll see here that there's an upper ridge here, and here is Zeta right here. So this is Zeta right there. And Zeta is kind of stuck in there because there's nothing to move it around. So when we move this along here, you will see here's Zeta, and look at that. So keep your eye on Zeta there. It looks like it's really developing it now. This is the GFS, and making a landfall perhaps in the looks like just around east of New Orleans there into Mississippi, so eastern Louisiana. All right, and then you see this other trough here. This might help to pull this west, though, this trough. So it might wind up going more west of that. We have to see what happens. But you'll see, and then we see that trough move eastward, and the remnants possibly going to our south or maybe over us Thursday into Friday. It's slowing down a little bit more now. It's a little more because the thing isn't even moving yet. So you can see there's the trough for the weekend, and then boom, back into the ridge again, and then pops another cutoff right over there. All right, and then look at that. There's another tropical system forming right there. And we're not done yet. There's going to be more tropical systems this year. This is the craziest I've ever seen it. But this is the world we are living in due to climate change. So let me look at the European model. So this is the European model. And you can see that huge ridge in the east here. So not, and the European doesn't even show Zeta even forming here. I'm not sure if I agree with that European at all. But you can see, do we get any relief from the pattern? Looks like we'll get a couple of fronts through on either model. Looks like we'll get a couple of fronts through eventually, because now with Epsilon out of the way, the logjam in the Atlantic can finally start moving again. So let's go look at the surface here, and we'll change these regions over to the CONUS view. So here's that high building down that sort of tried to keep us dry today, but that rain will be moving back in on us tonight. Tomorrow you can see that rain kind of hanging out over there. There's Zeta, and we're back into the humidity again. You got this weak high that's going to try to build in on Tuesday, and again this is the GFS, and you can see there's Zeta making a landfall in looks like perhaps Mississippi there. Quite an intense storm. Again, this looks like a hurricane. And then we would see the remnants come up this way, probably more on Thursday night into Friday that we'd be dealing with these remnants. And that would be a soaker, and then we'd finally dry out for the weekend on Saturday with this big high building in. So it's pretty much what it looks like on there. And again, this we're going to take a closer look at the Gulf here next on this. So let's go to that and change this to the Gulf of Mexico. We have a Gulf of Mexico. All right, Southeast U.S. will do. So this again is Zeta, and this again would make a landfall of Zeta probably around Wednesday afternoon, probably. So, this we're going to take a look at the wind on this. So yeah, this looks like this would be a hurricane. Yeah. So yeah, this could have the potential again to be a major disaster again. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on this for sure, because this is going to there's a lot of unpredictability with these things. You know, we've seen this so many times this year. So that's the GFS. Let me see. I don't think the NAM is going to go far enough out. The NAM, I don't think it's going to go far enough out. But let me just see what the NAM has on this. So this is the NAM. NAM is much slower. So the GFS may still be a little too fast with this. The NAM is much slower and a little weaker, because it will interact with the Yucatan, and that could weaken it. But I still think it's going to gain strength once it gets over the Gulf because of the favorable wind conditions. So we're going to jump back to the CONUS view here, and we're going to look at those wind conditions. So I'm going to go back to the well, we'll use both of them actually. So if we look at the 250 millibar wind on this, this kind of shows where the jet stream is. All right, and you will see here, there's that trough, that crazy trough in the west there. Look at how narrow that thing is, and it kind of just folds in on itself, which is kind of weird. This is Zeta here, so you can see it's kind of just cut off from the upper level winds, which is going to mean a favorable environment for strengthening. Let's look at the GFS. And again, at the GFS, you will see here again a similar idea, but it's just moving it along much faster. because it has a little more of a trough that's a little more over here that would help pull it in a little more. But either way, it's in a favorable environment, light upper level winds, and it's going to be in a favorable environment for strengthening. And you can see it's kind of like a cutoff low that forms there. So let's go take a look at our weather now. All right, so Zeta, I mean, yeah, what a season it has been. I've never been so busy with weather updates before. There's so much going on. So we're going to start with the precipitation here. So and it's not getting talked about enough in the media. It's not. So this is that high that built down. You had a nice day in northern New England, but we had the clouds and the showers come back in. This is the GFS again. So you'll see it keeps us in the showers chance for tomorrow. Slight chance of showers. And then maybe Tuesday we don't have any chances for rain. And then Wednesday we might have some chances for rain. And then here comes the remnants of Zeta, which again, it's faster. So this would be the remnants of Zeta, and then it forms another low. So it'd be a 1-2 punch with the rain, and this would bring us a lot of rain, as I showed before. If we look at the total accumulated precipitation, you will see here that this would bring us quite a bit of rain. So we're going to look at some of the other models in regards to the shower activity. Let's go to the HRRR. All right, this run is not available yet, so we'll have to look at the 17Z. So we're going to look at this. So you can see it has the showers. So there's a slight chance of showers, especially this evening. I don't think it'll be anything too heavy, but it's just this front that's stalled out that's going to be moving back at us. Let's look at the NAM, 12 kilometer. So again, you can see a slight chance of showers. NAM seems to keep that rain around until perhaps tomorrow, early tomorrow afternoon, then we finally get rid of it. This is Tuesday. Looks like it's just dry, and this would be Wednesday, which looks like it has a high building in. So the NAM's been pretty consistent with trying to keep us drier Tuesday and Wednesday, and I hope it's right because we don't want any more rain. The next thing we do is look at the dew points because that will show us where the front is. So we have the stall front to the south, and if we look at the Weather Prediction Center, by the way, this is our satellite image. You can see, again, if you were up in northern New England, you had a beautiful day. Upstate New York, Albany, you probably had a beautiful day. Look at the fall color. But you have to go pretty far north to get out of the clouds. It's not like you're going to go to Connecticut and get out of them. This is the weather map, by the way, from the Weather Prediction Center. So you can see there's the stall front, and we go to the surface analysis. Again, you'd see there's that front that's kind of hung up to the south. So let's go back to this. So again, you can see here on the dew points, there's your front hung up to the south. If we were to look at this, you'll be able to find the front for you because it's not that far off to the south. There's a lot of storminess going on out west with winter weather, but that's not going to be our issue. So if we look at the dew points here, you'll see it's very cool out, by the way. Temperatures only in the low 50s. But if you look at the dew points, if you look off to the south, you'll see where that front is. Actually, it's made it pretty far to the south. Yeah, there it is. So it's somewhere off over Virginia. So you go to the south of Virginia. So point is, that front will be moving back at us. So you'll see here we got this easterly wind that's going to be developing. All right, here's that low pressure that's going to form offshore. You can clearly see it right here. So we have that east wind tomorrow. So even if it's not raining, we might be getting some drizzle, slight increase in humidity. But then we get the drier air back in on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that would keep us. That would keep the humidity away again. You can see that front is still hanging out to the south right there. That is the NAM model. When we go to the GFS, so here is the GFS, and you will see here the GFS doesn't really get the front as far south, and then it start bringing us bringing it back at us on Wednesday. And then Thursday, you can see there's that remnant low there. And look at that, some really juicy air just to the south. But luckily, look at this. Your dew points could be into the mid 60s, upper 60s in Toms River, but here we'd have dew points in the 40s. And then the dew points drop as the things. And look at that, some really strong winds possible too with this as well. Between the gradient between the low pressure system and the remnants of Zeta and the high building in the north, we could have some strong winds if we look at the wind speeds here. Yeah, you can see some strong winds. I see them on here, so it could be kind of breezy. And if this happens, forget about your fall foliage; it'll be gone. We've had pretty crappy fall foliage this year as it is. Let's at least as far as the wetlands go, the oaks haven't changed yet in the uplands. Hopefully, we can maybe salvage that. So let's go to the sky, or let's go to the temperature actually first. Show where the temperatures will be going. So again, you can see that front. Here's tomorrow. You can see that warmer air just off to the south, where it'll be in the mid 60s, but we'll be cooler. We're going to be on the cool side of that front tomorrow. And then here's Tuesday. A little warmer over Jersey, cooler to the north. Again, you can see where the front is. 50s, so it's staying cool for us. But again, if you're in south, you're going to be dealing with the warmer air. And then things really cool down. Friday could be that really raw, rainy day, maybe even snow upstate, breezy. And then for Saturday, we drop into it'll be a chilly day Saturday. So let's go look at the skies on the GFS first. We'll start with that. Obviously, plenty of clouds. That's the thing with the GFS. Not really going to see a whole lot of sun. Maybe a few breaks on Tuesday. Wednesday, more clouds. Thursday, Friday, you got to wait until Saturday before we finally get out of it and get some clearing skies. And then we can have a really nice weekend after that. All right, that's GFS. Let's go to the NAM. So this is the NAM, keeping us in the clouds tomorrow. Here's Tuesday. Still dealing with the clouds Tuesday. That's as far as I can go on the NAM, unfortunately. But the theme here is it looks like we're going to be dealing with more clouds again. I can look at the RGEM model as well. It's a lot of clouds. But if we can get this front to the south, we can clear out on Wednesday. And we'd have to see. It all depends on if we can push this front to the south or not. If we can get some clearing skies. But it's a ways away, and it's going to be hard to tell exactly what's going to happen. But maybe we can eke out some sunshine on Wednesday. But right now, we're still stuck in the clouds. But again, the main story is this tropical weather going on. So we're going to have to watch Tropical Storm Zeta and possibly Hurricane Zeta as time goes on. And that is going to wrap up this extensive weather update talking about all these tropical systems going on. This has been one hell of a season, and it's just unbelievable what we're seeing. I'm speechless. I really am. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.